changing on a daily basis.
We're live. You feel me?
Welcome to Jenkins and Jones on the Volume Podcast Network. It is Wednesday, February 12th. We have a ton of really funny stuff to talk about today. I'm very excited, and I have not told you guys any of it. We're doing it old school. We're just flying blind into everything, but we're going to open up, as always, Jenkins and Jones, hosted by Dragonfly Jones, aka Tyler.
Hey, everybody, have a good.
LeJethro Jenkins, aka John.
What's up, Bubbas?
I'm Gardy B, aka Mike.
Fucking Mike.
And we're produced, as always, by the lovely and talented flying solo Jackson Saffon.
What's
All right, we're gonna open the pod with some Tyler, our resident HR professional, is gonna put we're gonna put our conflict mediation hats on. Tyler,
Oh man,
I logged on to this Zoom today, and John and Tyler sounded like a couple, I'm sorry, John and Jackson sounded like a couple of like squirrels you see on the tree where they're just like, you're like, I don't know any of what they're saying, but they sound mad. Like they sound really upset.
Did I sound mad? Really? Did I? Sound...
I could tell y'all were having a real conversation. So could you explain to the Jenkins and Jones listeners what the conflict is here? So Tyler and I can decide who wins.
To do it? Would you prefer to do it?
I don't.
Okay. I mean, if you can
look how mad they are, Tyler. You said he didn't even care about who tells the story.
I mean, yeah, I feel like we're a couple, and like, you know what I'm saying, like we're beefing. And I'm like, I know. That's why I said I know you held
exactly what it's like.
An argument, bro. Because I feel like we, do you want to go first?
Kim hates it.
This how I'd rather. You speak first, and then I'll go ahead.
You want me to go first?
Go ahead.
Golly, what happened was John and I were golfing yesterday. I hit a shot, and when it was, I hit it pretty good. And when it was in the air, it was going the right angle, right at the pin. And I said, be the number while it was in the air. Which in my brain, I was like, I know that it's straight.
What does be the number mean?
Which is good. Be the number. So be the straight part. It's like when you're hitting a golf shot, it's like you want the direction and you want the distance, right? And so I knew the direction was good. So I was like, so be the number is like it's the yardage number. It was like 140 yards out. So I was like, I wanted to. Hopefully, I hit it pretty good, but I'm not that good. So that could be anywhere from 120 yards to 145 yards. But I'm like, still, I'm not like great, right? So I'm like, I think I hit it good, but I don't know how good it's going to be. So in the air, I said, be the number, which John and our other friend Brad said we're laughing about as like
immediately. The ball hadn't
immediately
landed.
Laughed.
The ball had barely even reached the peak.
Immediately laughed. Immediately climbed.
So basketball analogy here would be like yelling that
when
like,
the ball's in the air,
good,
I was like, that's good. Well, in this is more of like a hopeful thing, but it's a reasonable comparison. I would only say that's good in the air if I was like, I feel 95% confident. This one I was like, hopefully it's good. And John and Brad, correct me if I'm wrong, John, we're laughing about it because it's like overly golf,
it's capital G golf,
overly golf speak, capital G golf speak to say be the number in the air, as opposed to what, like be good.
Come on,
like, would that have been better?
We're not, I don't say none of that shit, bro. So it's just a different, you know what I mean?
Okay.
I mean, if
you do, that's not true.
Did I say be good? I'm just like that felt good.
Right. Whatever.
You know what I mean?
Whatever.
Right. You know what I'm saying?
So I said something in the air and they were clowning. And then later, we kind of moved past it. And then later, we were talking about club twirling and I hit a bad shot. And so I like jokingly, I was like, club twirl? Because I hit a terrible shot. And then I was like, actually, I don't know how to club twirl. And John was like, me either, except I'm practicing it at home.
What you about to say in the mirror?
What is club twirl? Is it just what it sounds like? You twirl your club?
Club twirling is like a little, Tiger made it famous. Like you hit a shot, you're holding your follow through. And you twirl the club in your hand.
Fancy
it's like a flex, like a.
It's like Steph turning his back on a 3-pointer. You know what I mean?
Exactly. Or like a defensive back doing the clamp thing after like it's like a little flare at the end of your shot. And I was like, I don't know how to club twirl. And John was like, me either, but I'm practicing at home. And I was saying that
in the mirror?
No, go ahead.
No.
He didn't say in the mirror.
This is what I said. I don't know how to, but I practiced it. I practice it sometimes, and it's not like practice. It's like. I just have the club in my hand and I see if I can twirl the club. It's not like I'm going to get this down. You know what I mean? It's nothing. I think that's what you thought I was saying.
That's where the confusion.
Yeah, which I'm not. I just have a club in my hand and I'm like, hey, can I do this? And I still can't do it. So it's.
But the point I was making after that is that
it's not hard to do.
Practicing a club twirl. I just can't do it. Practicing a club twirl is just as capital G golf as saying something like be the number in the air. And John and Brad were like, no, oh my, how are you out of your mind?
No, this.
Are you serious?
No. It wasn't a big deal at all. Nobody cared until I said the only reference I have for be the number
this was the
is Patrick Reed.
This is where it
and then Koepka clowned his ass and was like,
Patrick Reed is like the most unlikable golfer.
Patrick Reed is like saying you did some Patrick Beverly shit.
Not even Pat. It's
except Patrick Beverly has respect among some players. Patrick Reed has respect among some Grayson Allen type.
Yeah.
If you were like you tripped someone and that's very Grayson Allen of you, and I was like, I was an accident. You're like, nah, that was Grayson Allen.
Yeah.
That's kind of what it would be like.
But I was like, the only reference I have of this is Patrick Reed saying it, and then Koepka saying, like shooting this. They were playing together. Koepka hits the ball and it's like, be the number, like mocking him, right? And so all I know about I never played with golf motherfuckers. You know what I'm saying? So I don't really. Jackson was the first person I heard say be the number in person. I've seen people tour the club.
Sure.
I've seen a whole bunch of people. I've never heard a motherfucker say be the number until Jackson said it. So I laughed out of just like, this nigga said be the number. This a be the number ass nigga. You know what I mean? And that's what I was laughing at. It wasn't a big deal.
Right.
Then I said Patrick Reed.
No, I know.
And then
but
Jackson
then compared
to
Patrick Reed, I didn't like.
Ever since I said Patrick Reed. And I'm just like, bro, that's just something. Me, I haven't been in the game a lot. I've never heard anybody say it. So, like, you're the only person I said, if it wasn't you, I would judge you. But since it's you, I'm not judging. I know you. I love you. You know what I'm saying? But, like, it's funny that you are the nigga that said beat a number.
And that's fine. And let me just say two things. One, the comparison to Patrick Reed irked me. I definitely
for sure. But I don't think you are that nigga.
It
but that's the only reference.
But the second thing that annoyed me, the second thing that annoyed me is John was like immediately defending his practice the club twirl thing. Fine, no problem. Why would you not defend if that accusation about the club twirling practice? Then when I defended my explanation about why I said that, John was like, "Well, it doesn't really matter what your explanation is. It's goofy.
I didn't say it doesn't matter. I never said it doesn't matter. All I said was it's not the same, bro. Those are different." And Brad was like jumped in as well, and I think that also happened too.
And Brad agreed with me that it's something that you just pick up from like when you're younger. And I agree with you better than me. And I was like, I was 16 and I don't know what to say about it.
I agree with you too on that. But I also think it was funny as fuck. And to hear a beat a number ass nigga say beat a number is hilarious to me. And that's just me.
Right. And it's hilarious to me about the club twirling practice. And you're like, well, I had a baby. I'm not really trying to take it seriously. I would never do that on the court.
Does that even sound
I'm just practicing just for me.
That probably
I would just practice it just for me.
But I didn't.
I would never do that on the course. I would just practice. Yes,
I didn't say I had a baby. I would never.
You did say I would never.
I said
you did. You said I was holding my baby. I would never do that on the course. So why would you even say that it's a weird thing to do?
I didn't say why would you say.
Yes, you did.
When I logged on, John was accusing Jackson was accusing John of hiding behind his baby.
Shielding, using my baby
as a shield, which is a big fact, and he knows it. That's the one thing he knows that is true.
Nobody said nobody was tripping until I said the only reference I had is Patrick Reed, and you've been in your feelings ever since. And Jackson, I swear to God, you could be a beat a number ass nigga. I still love you. It's okay, my guy. And I practice my club twirl when I'm fucking around. Cool, you can think what you want. But I'm just saying, like, to me, it's different. To you, it's not. And that's fine. That's fine.
And that's fine.
But so if I can, Tyler, if I can begin our conflict mediation, it sounds like what Jackson is saying is that John is as much of a golf dork as he is, but is judging him as more of a dork. And it sounds like what John is saying is that is correct.
Yeah, I agree with that.
John is posturing as a non-dork when he's
I'm a dork.
What I'm trying to say.
I think that in particular is really dorky based on the references I have.
Yeah, I'm a dork, but you're a psychopath.
I mean, like,
no judgment, but you're insane.
Like I'm a shooter. You're fucking Steph Curry with this shit, nigga. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's just, that's how it feels with be the number. You know what I mean? Tyler.
Yeah, well,
what's your opinion?
I think golf is, we've discussed this before, how golf is a unique sport where it's just you. You have no one to point the finger at. No teammates you can say drop the ball and fucked it up. Everything is about you, right? It's all on you. And I think that, as a golfer, you have to be kind to yourself. You have to be patient with yourself. You have to be understanding with yourself. So, like, however you need to talk to yourself to achieve that level is in, I'm all for it, bro. I would never get into, like, if I ever do decide to pick up golf, I would never let that shit frustrate me. the moment where I feel like I'm being pissed off at myself and I'm coming down too hard on myself, I will quit that shit, bro. Like I would be out really there. Quick, yeah, listen, but that's the whole thing.
It's also just a great mentality.
That's the whole thing. Yeah, like I think that so many golfers are so hard on themselves, and I would not take up a hobby to be angry at myself. You know what I mean? I do not. I would take that shit up to have good time and good fun and fun with the homies, right? Like and hopefully, of course, I want to get better and improve as I go along in that shit. Of course, that too. But yeah, like if I was ever to take up golf and I find myself being cruel and being mean to myself, I'd quit, bro.
I'm not cruel or mean to myself at all. Like I just don't care enough. Yeah. Jackson, well, you were hooking it a little bit. But I mean, it's still like a playable ball. It wasn't like it was lost. And this motherfucker had to go on a walk type shit, nigga. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
no, after that 3-putt, bro, I was reeling.
But this is crazy.
I was
Jackson
reeling
hit
after
the
that.
best shot he maybe hit in 10 years, something.
It's the best shot I've hit in a long time. I don't play much anymore.
And then he 3-putts, which is probably the worst thing to do on a golf course. But that's golf. Like from 5 feet. You know what I'm saying? Type shit. So, yeah, I mean, I get taking a walk, but I just don't give a fuck enough. Also, I've never hit a shot as good as that one you just hit. You know what I mean? But anyway, regardless, I do get your standpoint, Tyler. I don't give a fuck truly if he says be the number or not. I'm going to laugh every time, though, because it's naturally funny to me. Right. You know what I mean?
And that's fine.
All right, are we good?
Are we good?
That was great.
Is there understanding?
I'm good.
Look at Jackson.
There's understanding.
Fuck Patrick Reed. I don't think you have anything in common with him. Okay. It was just the reference I have. That's now we're ignorance. Good. That's my lack of golf knowledge. I apologize.
Okay. You're laying on
I'm just saying. I'll work on it.
You're laying on a little thick.
There's another second to this one, obviously, but another new partnership in town in the city of Los Angeles' sports world, and that is LeBron James and Luka Doncic. Who played their first game together the other night. How ahead of ourselves are we letting ourselves get about how fun it's going to be to see Bron and Luka? And what did you guys think of their first game together?
I mean, I thought the first game was... I just don't understand people who thought they would be a bad fit. These are two very unselfish, high IQ NBA computer basketball robots. They're going to figure it out. And it looked like they figured it out from the first fucking seconds they played.
Yeah,
together,
right.
They were not getting in each other's way at all. So I think we can put that notion to bed of how will they work, you know, from the small contingency that was asking that. It's like I said, it's just going to be a very surreal experience where I'm just still not believing. I still wasn't believing it when I was watching it that night. Like we saw the clip. I don't know if y'all saw the clip today of JJ Redick just taking a moment and looking over at Luka at the bench and being like, "What? Really? This motherfucker's a Laker?" Like he had that moment, right? It's just still all very surreal. I'll tell you though, motherfucking Jackson Hayes. I was like, I don't know what type of Rudy ass speech he gave coming out that game after they lost out on Mark Williams, but that motherfucker was catching everything. He was like, y'all need a lob threat? Okay, watch this. But I don't know how sustainable that is. You see, they went out and got Alex Lim because they don't believe that was sustainable either. But yeah, bro. Bron and Luka are going to be just fine together. They are going to be incredible together. It's just filling out the rest of that roster, and we all knew that coming into this.
I never questioned whether it would work out. I don't question if it'll be fun. Of course it'll be fun. It's Bron and Luka. Like, any way you do the math, that equals fun. You know what I mean? I just don't know how good it will be because of the other holes in the roster. And, you know, and so that's what I had questions about. But, like, to question if they would figure it out, like, those are two of the most malleable superstars we've ever seen. You know what I mean? Like, they can warp their game in whatever way they need to make it work for, you know what I'm saying, their teams. And we've seen them do it. So never question that. But yeah, like what Tyler said about Jackson Hayes, I mean, that's what he does though, is run the court. I mean, if he has to stop with the basketball in his hands, that's where the problems begin. You know what I mean? But running it, I mean, yeah, a lob threat, you know, that's a pretty solid one. But yeah, man, like it was definitely fun. It's dope to see them really excited out. It was cool to see Bron talking to Luka. Don't show in, show out.
Don't fit in, fit the fuck out.
Don't fit in, fit out. Some shit like that, which is hilarious. You know what I mean? Yeah, I don't know what to be saying, but it made
zero sense and all the sense at the same time.
It does. Exactly. And that's Bron. You know what I mean? So yeah, man, I'm tapped in for sure. I'm excited about it. It's still just as like, holy shit. I do kind of feel like now this is what the universe wanted. I guess I needed to get that confirmation. You know what I mean? We're like Bron and the potential future, the future of the league, or the player that looks most like Bron in the NBA is, he's basically this is him showing him the ropes, in game. And when I leave, this is all, so I it doesn't feel as wrong as it once did because of that. But yeah, man, I mean, the fit, come on, man. He was always going to fit
Kevin
out.
Love. Did you guys see that Kevin Love dragged up an old tweet from Bron about that quote?
Yeah, I saw it. From
2015, Bron tweeted, "Stop trying to find a way to fit out and just fit in. Be a part of something special."
Like 10
just
years
my
to
thoughts.
the day, bro. Like,
yeah. And then
he tweeted that out passive aggressively about his teammates.
Yeah,
like,
about
just
Kevin
be
Love.
part of the Bron offense. Like, fuck.
And K Love said punching air right now. Just my thoughts.
Hey, bro, Kevin Love,
so funny.
Kevin Love and Bron butted heads during that first season, bro. Like I remember where Kevin Love was rolling his eyes during fucking post games and shit, talking about how he wasn't being used properly and shit. They butted heads for a minute, bro. But yeah, it's.
I get it though. I get it though. What Kevin Love was doing in Minnesota, then coming to and being like, I get why he would feel that way. He was a guaranteed triple double for a long time.
I tell you what. God has favorites, brother. Like, Kevin Love's not Luka. Like, I don't.
No, he's not. He's not. And
some players got to fit in, and some players got to fit out. Like,
two different stages of Bron's career too. Very different stages,
different
of
rules.
Career, so you know what I mean. He needs him to fit out. More than fit in. You know what I mean. I don't think Bron in Miami needed that. So yeah,
it's just, I mean, it's like, John and I talk about, like, with our schedules, it's all about like, we got to make sure we're home, we're available to help with the kids, all this stuff.
Yeah.
If John and I were basketball players who made $100 million a year, our wives would not be asking us to fit in, bro.
They would be asking
go
us to
fit out.
Us fitting out is fitting in to the grand scheme of what the fuck need to be going on around here. You know what I'm saying?
Different roles have different responsibilities, and Luka's job is to fit out. Like,
yeah, we're just dads, brother.
Kevin Love's job was to fit in. Like, it just it makes sense to me. I don't know.
It'd be like that. You feel me?
What did you guys think of, Luka said, there's always these dumb questions when you get stuff like this. So it was like, okay, who's going to go last? And, a lot of us noticed Bron got announced fourth. Luka was the last one announced before the game started. Some of the reporters asked Luka about that after the game. He said Bron texted him the morning of the game and said, "It's up to you. You do, you can choose what order you want to go in." And Luka appreciated that he was given the opportunity to go last that night. And then he said at the press conference, and now it'll be Bron going last for, going forward or whatever. But, what did you guys think of that? Again, Bron's had some passive aggressive moments with superstar teammates, like we talked about with the stop trying to fit out and fit in. What did you guys think of that gesture from Bron and how that kind of opens up this era between the two of them?
I think they both handled that very well. I think Luka absolutely should have gotten introduced last during his debut, and going forward, Bron should probably be the guy getting introduced last. Just because that's the motherfucking GOAT, right? Like 20 fucking plus years, he's earned that. So yeah, I think that they're both going to get along just fine personality wise. Of course, we talked about how the fit on the court is going to look as well. I would say my main issue though, bro, like I'm a motherfucker who grew up on goddamn WGN. I grew up watching Bulls games, and I grew up on the end now, number 23 from North Carolina. The Lakers announcer was flat as fuck. Like I was like, dog, I've never really paid attention to the Lakers. The lineup getting called out, but the dog, I don't know if the announcer met the moment. Like he was blanded in a motherfucker. Like I was like, who is this dude? And motherfuckers on Twitter were complaining about that shit too, bro.
That's
They're
his
like,
style.
bro,
It's very flat. Like it's like it feels like they're trying to stay connected to like the Chick Hearn era of broadcasting, because that's how it is with Bron too. Number 23, LeBron James. Like it's just very flat for sure.
Yeah. Real baseball-y, felt like.
I feel like, they both understand like the moment and then just general respect. Like the moment Luka's supposed to get introduced. That's a huge moment. Luka's first game with the Lakers, you know what I mean? And like Tyler said, he's a GOAT. You know what I mean? Just out of respect, he goes last, and that's just all it is. We know who the future is. You know what I mean? We know who the best player on the team is. You know what I'm saying? But as far as what Bron means to the game and all that, yeah, just let him go. He has a couple years left. You get announced last. You have
5 years,
another decade in those colors. You know what I mean?
Just give me 5 years, 5 more years, Bron and Luka.
God, bro.
I would tell you,
are you serious? Are you halfway serious?
I think I'm more than halfway serious.
Wow.
Okay. No, Bron looks reinvigorated, dog.
Bron looks like I know.
I thought last season was gonna be the ride off into the sunset season. I think we're gonna get 2, maybe 3 more, bro.
I thought next season could potentially be maybe a year season after that.
He's staying for Bryce, bro.
He's trying to get that double nepotism going. I love it. As a dad of 2. Keep doing your thing, brother.
Hey, if you like the way it tastes the first time, you put the plate down.
Can I get seconds? The fuck, nigga? You know what I'm saying?
I mean, I do think also from obviously we all agree from a mentality standpoint that he looks reinvigorated, but from a physical standpoint, one thing I was thinking about when you guys were talking about the fit, it's like these guys have always their entire lives have had to play with 5 sets of eyeballs on them. Right? They're never at an advantage when they get the ball, usually. I mean, the flow of the game, whatever. But generally, they're the ones being loaded up on and having to create advantages for other players on their teams, create open shots, create open players, create 3-on-2 situations, yada, yada. Now they're getting that created for them on a possession-by-possession basis. Luka is creating LeBron going downhill in a Draymond Green role. Or LeBron is they're running curls for Luka, so they're getting easy catch and lob to Jackson Hayes. Them being able to play off each other, but obviously helps from a mental standpoint. But from a physicality and wear down on LeBron standpoint, he doesn't have to do as much and is in situations where it's not as much a dribble. If you're catching on the move, it's your whole body is reacting and moving differently than when you dribbled it for 18 seconds and then you have to go create
trying
something.
to beat a guard off the standstill. You know what I mean? It's totally different, but people talk about
it's
the
so
hockey
different.
assist, and it has to be really dope for Bron and Luka to get the ball exactly when they should get it. You know what I mean? Luka giving the ball to Bron before that oop. He got the ball to Bron where he could decide what he wanted to do. Am I going to finish it? It wasn't like he got it in a place that was I got to do some Bron shit. He made it easy for Bron to what decision do I make? And the same thing happened with Luka, where I don't have to dive deep into my supercomputer to make some shit shake. So the game is going to be easy in a particular way because you have another guy that understands when and where you should get the ball instead of you having to play, with somebody that's he'll get it to you, but in no way is it helping you. You know what I mean? So that hockey assist shit, I know people's but it's real. Get this person the ball. We talked about with Jackson Hayes, getting him the ball where he can do what he does. Well, Luka's doing the same thing for Bron, and Bron's doing the same thing for Luka, where it's we're going to making the game easy on each other in so many ways. And I think that was fun to watch as well. So Jackson kind of spoke to that, but it's just kind of, I thought that was really fun.
I mean, I think that was the goofy part to me of people talking about fit was Bron's had some great teammates in his career, but you never had a guy who's supposed to maybe be the face of the league after you retire. And you kind of struggle to, if you just think of the top 50, 75 guys, when do you ever get to top 10 potential, top 15 potential? That is such a supersized thing in the other direction as far as fit because of what you guys are talking about. They do both understand spacing and how defenses react to them and what that opens up for other people. Mm-hmm. And I would add, John, you're talking about the holes in the roster. Obviously they're missing a center. Yeah. With all due respect to Jackson Hayes and, and signing Len, but there's not that many. I mean, because at this point, Austin Reeves is a very good third option
for sure
on a basketball team, especially when the 2 other options are the, Bron and Luka. Yeah. And then you've got shooters. You do have some length and some defense. I don't think they have enough defense probably if you're trying to win a championship. But with Vanderbilt and Dorian Finney-Smith, there's a lot there, I think, considering what the top end is. And again, with all due respect to Anthony Davis, who I loved, I was one of his strongest soldiers defending his availability and toughness when he was a Laker. There's just no comparison. There's just no comparison. And again, in our lifetimes, I can't really think what the comparison would be. Think like we were losing our mind about Bron playing with D Wade and Chris Bosh. Mm-hmm. This is Luka. It just is. It's just a completely different. It's just different. So I don't know, bro. I'm very intrigued. Luka looked like he was having fun. Y'all saw that the video from the end line when he passed it up to Bron for the layup.
Yeah. Oh shit! I'm really on the Lakers. It was like a realization moment. You know what I mean? I'm playing with the GOAT type shit. Go ahead, Tyler. What you saying?
No, I was gonna say Luka's eyes got big as hell in that moment. Like,
yeah. So yeah, man. It'll at minimum be fun, and at minimum will be good. It might not be great. You know what I mean? It might not, like they might not, make it to the Western Conference.
10-1 in their last 11.
They have they have a real chance, and it'll at minimum it'll be good basketball. There's too much with Luka and Bron. They're too good for it not to be at minimum good basketball.
And I'll put JJ Redick in there. I mean, I do like if you look at the improvement of this
and
team over the course of the season,
he's been special.
He's unbelievable.
He's not just been good. He's been special. You know what I mean? Like so.
45, 7-7 game. It was him, Tyler's favorite.
After JJ told him they're going to need 38, 8, and 8 out of him. And he's like, all right, I got a little more than that. Let me show you what time it is. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
He had
I think it'll be fun to see them against a better competition coming up because the Jazz are obviously the Jazz. And then they have 3 straight games coming up against also terrible teams. They play the Jazz again, then Charlotte, then Portland. But after that, starting at the end of February, they go to Denver, they host Dallas, they host Minnesota, they host back-to-back games against the Clippers. Then they have a game against the Pelicans, and they host the Knicks. Then they go to
I made the point to you. I think 18 of the last 25 games were already on national TV before Luka signed. And if you want to be a conspiracy theorist, because this is something Vinnie pointed out to me, the schedule is almost constructed like, let's make sure the Lakers are in position to contend before they get a superstar player at the trade deadline. He was like, it was really nice they gave us all our easy games before we got Luka. So it's like, oh, look, they're the 4 seed, and now they've got Luka with Bron to go on this stretch run.
That's one hell of a coincidence.
Yeah. The other thing I loved, and I'm just going to be a unapologetically annoying LA sports fan right now, so deal with it, I guess. Okay. Like, did you see Luka's reaction when he walked into the presser room and he was like, "That's a lot of people." He was in the finals. He was in the finals last year, bro. It just like I know people get annoyed when I do the Dodgers and the Lakers are like the big leagues and everyone, but like. Regular season debut for the Lakers. Wow, never seen anything like this. Says the guy who was in the NBA finals against the Celtics. That's so crazy to me that he was like, "Wow, this is really a media circus."
I don't know if it was because he's never seen it. I think it was probably crazy for him to see on a fucking weekday.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, this isn't the fucking finals. Why does it feel and look like the finals? You know what I mean? So it could have been that as well. But I agree with you completely. Yeah, LA's just a different world, different beast.
Y'all prepared for me to be very annoying about Luka Doncic since he put Vinnie in the video?
I mean, you should be. That's just good dadding, bro. Top tier dadding. You know, we were talking about this, bro. I'm wondering like what y'all think the equivalent would be, because I think
when we were kids, you're saying?
Yeah, that when we were kids, because I think in middle school, if something similar to that happened, like I could have been dating Ashley Johnson immediately after that motherfucker. Like I wouldn't have had to work as hard to get Venetia. You know what I'm saying? Like, you feel me? Like I could have shown that and bagged her immediately in 6th grade. Like, you know what I mean? Type shit. Am I tripping? Like, that's a huge deal in middle school. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I mean, it's like a different landscape though. The only equivalent to us would have been like being in a Be Like Mike MJ commercial or something, right? Like we went in and pulled up some shit on our phones in fucking 1995 to show to everybody that just wasn't the world that existed back then. Yeah. But yeah, man. I mean, I mean, for the world that Vinny lives in, like, bro, like, I'm sure all his homies know. I'm sure so many people at his school know. Like, dog, like that, and to be at that age where like
That's
the celebrity,
such a
where
big
you're
deal.
really worshiping like the athletes and the celebrities, right? Like before you're even jaded, like fuck these guys. Like like middle school, that is when you are at like the peak of celebrity worship, and for that to happen to Vinny, bro, yeah, that's a come up, man.
A Luka video, like this is the Lakers. Luka on the Lakers, and he's in that video. Like, how is he responding to this? I know like there's excitement, but is he like, oh shit? And I know he's kind of different because he's been around famous athletes his entire life because through you.
He freaked out though. He freaked out for sure. He immediately he was like, it was like I showed it to him before he went to school, and he was like, he's not allowed to use his phone until like the evening for 20 minutes or whatever, and he just was looking at me. He's like, can I please? And I was like, yes. Like,
this is different. This is different. This is different. Yeah.
So he texted his friends. Some of his friends had already seen it. And so he got to school and they people knew. One of his teachers had seen it and was like, oh, that's Vinny.
That's crazy. It's such a big deal. And
he asked one of his other teachers to pull it up, and they were like, "No, buddy, fucking."
But I get that question though. Like, of course you asked that question.
Put that mother. Do they even have projectors or whatever the fuck anymore? Put that motherfucker on the projector.
They got like
roll that shit.
They got
here.
smart boards and projectors.
Roll the motherfucker.
They have projectors that just plug on an HDMI cord into the laptop. That's ceiling mounted now. No one's wheeling shit anywhere anymore. But
I missed the wheeling in though. Like they were sharing a projector. Like there was like one or two projectors amongst entire third grade or whatever.
Right.
You know what I mean?
But it was so then after school we had basketball practice. Our last we made it to the championship game because we were dragging the shit out of these teams last week. So we had our last basketball practice, and then we had batting cages and a bullpen right after. So we walk over from the basketball court to the baseball facility. And because it's going to rain all week, everyone scheduled their cages and bullpens for Tuesday night. So it was like a fucking beehive. All the kids were just coming up to Vinny. You know what I mean? Just like, yeah, like, oh, you're in Luka's video. Like it was super funny.
How do you feel watching
I have one piece of inside information that I was wondering if it was the Lakers video team or Luka's video team. So I hit up my source in the Lakers video department. It's just a friend of mine who works in the Lakers video department. And he was like, no, I don't think that was us. So this is just more credit to Luka and his team, not the Lakers as a franchise.
Shout out to the internet
streets. The man himself.
I will tell you what Vinny thinks happened is that Luka was screen recording individual videos and editing it himself in.
Hey, I cannot confirm or deny. I can confirm it was his team. So I cannot confirm or deny whether that specifically happened.
I miss not knowing things like that.
Right.
Because it's so much more exciting. It allows things to be so much more exciting when you don't know like the business behind shit. You know what I mean?
I started to explain it to him, and then I have a Char voice in my head that's like the voice of reason, like my wife just in my head, and it's just like, why do that? He doesn't need to know that.
Yeah.
All right.
You talking about shit like that is the reason why I don't correct Somi when she says words wrong. Because I remember you talked about it could be the last time they say a particular word.
Oh man!
And I was in the bathroom and I corrected a word she said, and it was way better when she said it. It was way more fun and enjoyable.
Yeah.
And I was like, "You say it like this, baby," and so she was practicing in there, and we were having a lot of fun. Then the next day she said it right, and I was like, "Hold up, nigga."
If I could get Maya saying blurblary instead of blueberry one time, I would give $1,000 for one more natural blurblary.
She says yuk instead of look, and I don't want that. I'm fighting that.
Right.
You get this, you get that.
Char's rule that I like was if you're not worried about them having the skill when they're an adult,
for sure,
like let the teachers do their thing. You know what I mean?
For sure, we taking
stuff where you're worried about it if they're being mean to themselves or whatever. You're like, let me help you on that path. But if it's like, like I was worried about like, oh, Vinny's carrying his stuffed animal around when he was, I don't know, whatever. You're reading the book, so you're like, oh, this age, whatever. And she's like, are you worried he's going to be carrying the stuffed animal to a senior year of high school? And I was like, no. And she's like, then it's not a problem that needs solving then.
Oh man.
All right, let's
marry smarter than you. You know, I'm leaning right in, brother.
This is a podcast full of people who are fans of that move for sure. Let's pass some moral judgment, shall we? I want to know who the worst person is Have you guys heard about the CJ Gardner Johnson Taylor Swift review bomb situation?
No.
Player for the Eagles who strapped up Travis Kelce tweeted a picture of him lined up across from Travis Kelce with the caption, "Should have stayed with that thick shit," in reference to.
I saw that. I love that motherfuckers talking like that now. Like that's that. Like when you round fine shit, like that's hard, bro. Like you know what I mean. But anyway, I saw that.
Swifties did not respond well and have review bombed that player's mom's restaurant that she owns.
Oh, come on. Man.
So
no way.
So my question to y'all is, who's the worst person in the looking at all the involved parties, who are we passing the most judgment on?
What type of restaurant does CJ's mama run? Because if it makes some shit that might be unreview bombable, like some soul food or some barbecue type shit, like
where it would be like no one would like care.
No
one
fucking.
Also, nobody would care what white people said about some soul food. Like, okay, now I really need to check this motherfucker out because the right people don't fuck with it. You know what
I mean? King's Grill in Rockledge, Florida.
Oh, King's Grill. Okay, well, yeah, grill in Florida can mean a whole bunch of shit, but
in Florida too.
I'm looking it up. It's
the New York Post article says has a quote from CJ's mom, who said the joke is really on the Swifties and everyone entertaining the reviews because King's Grill is closed.
Oh, okay, well that works.
Well, never mind then.
Okay.
Yeah, it's like it's. I would say this would be it's like fried chicken, wings, Philly cheesesteaks, shrimp and grits, chicken and waffles, catfish and grits, like shrimp po' boy type of a restaurant.
Oh, they wouldn't have been able to hurt that.
Yeah, they wouldn't. Yeah, they wouldn't.
But at the same time, bro, like it's crazy talking about somebody lady like that, bro. Regardless of what the reality is, saying that shit like that's wild, bro. Like you tweak it. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah, but see, the thing about it is with football players, I feel like, bro, you can say whatever you want because you know you're going to see that motherfucker on the field again. Like I really feel like football players have whatever right to license to say whatever they want because they are playing a sport where that motherfucker can put hands on you.
Get your issues. You can right? Get your issues.
So it's way different from like basketball where basketball players know there's not gonna be a scuffle. The refs and the teammates are gonna break shit up before shit gets serious. Football is different, bro. If you bump them gums, the motherfucker gonna see you about it. And like I said, I give football players way more leash on that because you're saying some shit and you know you're going to deal with the physical repercussions of it. So
I understand that, but that's extremely disrespectful.
Still. It's wild as hell.
So John's going with CJ. Tyler, you go with the Swifties, or who do you think? Who are we passing the most judgment on?
No. I would go with the Swifties if it wasn't for it being closed.
Oh, okay.
I think that's just nasty. Like, what the fuck she got to do with anything? You know what I mean? But yeah. Go ahead though.
Yeah. I mean, CJ a wild boy for saying that, but like I said, bro, we're probably gonna get that rematch on the schedule next season. So if
Travis might be done, though.
That's what I'm saying.
That's what I heard. Travis might be done.
But yeah.
I don't like. Obviously, I'm friends with a psychopath who's literally trying to go play his 20th NFL season next year. I don't understand it, bro. I just, if I had enough money to live on for the rest of my life, I got a lot of things I love doing, but I don't need to get my AC joint rehab.
Sunday.
Yeah, like,
you know what I mean? Yeah, I'm cool on that.
Respectfully.
Yeah.
All right. Are you guys familiar with? Does the words Uncle O'Grimacy mean anything to either of you?
What the fuck, Uncle O'Grimacy?
Okay. You guys know Grimace from McDonald's? Though. You know Grimace from McDonald's?
That's what I was wondering if it was about. I'm aware of Grimace. I don't really know much about it.
John and Tyler, you guys know Grimace, right?
Yeah, for sure.
McDonald's is bringing back, this is like, I think even before we were kids, they did a thing where Grimace had an uncle who's Irish, and his thing was the Shamrock Shake, that he brings the Shamrock Shake. So here's the lore. Grimace's grandma Winky and his aunts Millie and Tilly hail from Grimace Island, but Uncle O'Grimacy lives in Shamrock, Ireland, and he has the important job of delivering the Shamrock Shakes every March. Tell me that Uncle O'Grimacy does not look exactly like Jason Whitlock.
I knew you was going to say that. That was the first person I thought of when I saw that. Got the fedora and everything. God damn, that's Whitlock, dog.
Who called it? Who called it? Who called it? Somebody on Twitter pointed that out?
Like 1,000 people on Twitter pointed out because he looks exactly like Jason Whitlock.
He looks just like that motherfucker.
Bro.
Shit. Uncle Old Grimacy, bro. Oh man.
I was not familiar with the folklore behind this.
Nah, but it's interesting. And it's interesting.
Yeah.
I
couldn't let y'all not be in on a Whitlock
Thank you
joke.
so much. Thank you.
That's crazy, dude.
Just like that.
Mama, little bit short. All right.
Top 5 tweets.
Can you imagine Uncle O'Grimacy saying that peanut butter?
Peanut
my
butter.
God, bro.
That green milkshake.
I'm not gonna say it.
Can't do
Don't
it.
say
I
it.
can't. If I open the door, it'll never
Cream
close.
topping.
No.
All right. We're gonna end. We're gonna end with someone we each want to scog. For those of you who don't remember, scogging is a term coined by John's daughter.
Scogner. Scogner. Like
To describe a door knock punch, you know,
yeah, she got her issue.
pointy knuckles. I will go first. White people while walking. That is who I would like to scog the most.
Man.
John
So
Brown-
have you experienced that?
I have
Go ahead.
experienced
Explain
it
it,
for my
explain it,
loved
explain it.
ones.
Give
This
the
is
context,
John.
give the
John had
context.
pointed out this. People have discussed this that white people do not get out of the way for other people when they're walking. They assume
Particularly
everyone
groups
will
of
get
white
it.
women. Like that is the more like that's what I really noticed. Like, yeah.
Okay. I'm more so when I'm crashing into people to protest this, which is my version of scogging strangers on the street, is more so men. But
I'm not crashing.
But that's
I've
I'm not crashing.
I've seen white men do this
For sure.
I'm not
Well-
crashing into anybody. I just stand there.
Isabel
You know what I mean?
Wilkerson Isabel
Yeah.
Wilkerson wrote about it in Caste, that it was like, if you want evidence that America's racial hierarchy is a caste system, that's what she said. She'll literally just watch white people walk around with the assumption that every other type of
It's gonna
person will get out of their way. Yeah. Every time it comes up, it brings my attention to it anew. And if you're paying attention to it, there's so many instances
Blatantly obvious.
that it's just like,
So they don't
And
get out the way of you?
huh?
They don't even get out the way of you? They don't
I mean,
white people don't move when you're like
people, I get, and maybe wait, am I now then the white guy who's not getting out of the way?
Might be all disrespectful here.
didn't even think about that.
This is like a
Said
Batman
when I'm
moment.
crashing into
Yeah,
people.
yeah, talking about you being white, I don't think of you as white. Like,
Well, this is my Batman Punisher moment. Like I thought I was the good anti-hero.
oh,
I
When
just
I, when
beating
I
up
was walking with
jaywalkers?
Shar's family down to the bookstore and they didn't get out of the way, I thought that was kind of weird.
I don't crash into people. I just
I hold
Stop.
firm.
I
Yeah,
just
yeah,
know
yeah,
that
yeah,
they're
yeah.
walking towards me. Like I'm not running into no woman. That's silly.
Right,
That's
right,
fucking
right,
stupid.
right.
You know, it's-
But I'm not
Like,
twisting my daughter out of the way to
I'm not
get by
stepping
them.
into the grass. So what I do is I just pause. Like make the decision you want to make to do what you need to go around. You know what I mean? If there's a crash, they're crashing into me because I'm just
Yeah.
really just standing there. You know what I mean?
Right.
But I don't move off the sidewalk because I realized that and I was like, gee, like you just
Once
really
you've realized
expect
it.
me, yeah, to like get out of your way. I'm not, and you know, I'm not doing that no more. And, you know, and I think at first a couple people walked into me. I'm like, damn, they didn't even realize I was there. They just kept going. As if like, you know, like I'm not even in non-existent. So
Yeah.
I just stand. I just stand and let them do what they want to do.
From my experiences, it's always been groups of white women who are the worst offenders with that. I
Yeah,
think
that's
anytime
what I've
3 or
noticed,
more
yeah.
white women get together, they think they're living in an episode of Sex in the City. They
And
think
nothing
that
else
the cameras
exists.
are following them.
Yeah,
So,
yeah.
yes.
You're just the boom mic operator.
Yeah. You're just supporting cast, you know what I mean? Like, you feel me? Like, gee, I'm a stand-in or some shit. You know what I mean? Like, the fuck?
Tyler, who are you scogging this week?
Who do I want to scog?
Who are you gonna scog?
Scog.
I'm a non-violent dude. Who I don't personally want to scog the motherfucker, but I wouldn't mind see them get scogged. I mean, and I'm tired of talking about this motherfucker, but it's Drake, dog. Like, look, bro.
If you tired, we ain't got to do it. We ain't got to do it, Tyler.
It needs to be addressed. This whole shit needs to be addressed.
This nigga smoking hookah in turquoise boots, nigga. Like that was the first. That is my exact favorite type of humor. But anyway,
that should kill me.
I laughed out loud reading it. But go ahead.
Listen. We saw the Super Bowl performance. We saw Kendrick break the fourth wall, look in the camera, and say your motherfucking name in front of 150 million motherfucking people watching. And you're a 40-year-old ass goes on your Finsta and you shoot at Serena. Like, you are a bitch, bro. I just can't flat out, I have no interest in ever listening to any of this dude's music again. I just cannot fuck with that dude, bro. And he's got the whole little shit with P&D dropping this weekend, and we'll see how the numbers on that shit. But that ain't gonna save you, dog. Like, you really need to hop out here, get your little solo album, just you in the booth, but you're scared to do that. That's why you've been pussyfooting with the little 100 gigs surprise drops, with your little Finsta drops, with your little collaboration drops, because you scared. You're like, do y'all really like me, please? I'm doing these little pussyfoot ass drops, bro. I just don't fuck with the nigga, dog.
Hop off the porch, nigga.
Yeah, scary ass nigga. Get in the scary motherfucking boot.
Fuck ass nigga. Yeah. Hop off the porch with them turquoise boots. Stand on 10
toes. Put the hookah down and hop off the porch in them turquoise boots.
Don, who are you scogging this week, bro?
I don't really, like Tyler said, bro. I don't be caring enough to want to scog a nigga for real. Like, but if I could really get my lick back on somebody, bro. When I was in 5th grade, this nigga Brandon. I was like 4'11", 4'10" or something, and this nigga was taller than my mom, who's 5'4". You know what I mean? And he socked me, and I just started crying because I saw blood and just started crying. You feel me? And I'm like it's the one time that I let the fear control me. You know, it's not about losing. It's about I didn't get my issue. I ain't even, you know what I'm saying? I was just let my fear control me. I was in 5th grade. I was 10? You know what I mean? And I've always hated that shit. And I've actually fought dudes that were bigger than me off the strength. I'm trying to take up for that fucking 5th grader that got punched in the face, nigga. You know what I mean? I'm trying to get my lick back with other niggas, and it hasn't
heal your childhood.
It hasn't
wounds,
filled the
John.
void. It hasn't healed yet. You know what I mean? I gotta fight. I even looked his ass up. Like, I mean, where this nigga at? A while ago on Facebook.
No way.
He's my height.
Jonathan.
He stopped growing. Like, he just like, nigga, he's like my height. Now I'm like, damn, I think he's a chef now. I would have whooped that nigga's ass. I'm like, I let that nigga beat my ass. I was hoping he was like 6'6". I was like, you know, I mean, at least I felt good about, you know. But yeah, he's
still 5'4".
Back. He's still. He was 5. I think he was 5'6". But like, I obviously wouldn't do it. I'd want to go back in 5th grade and scrap. Even if I would have lost, At least you scrap, nigga. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? You stood yours. That's the one time I let fear overtake me and didn't, you know. And I just hate. I don't really hate it as much now, but like,
yeah,
it bothered me for a while. You know what I mean?
Sure.
Like, damn, you ain't swing back, nigga. God damn, you ain't buck back. That's some whole shit. And also, when I told my mom about it, my mom looked at me like,
"That's the worst." That's why that drilled so deep into your brain. That's why that drilled so deep into your brain.
Yeah. When I told her, she said, "What happened?" He punched me because my lip was bust. I had a bloody lip. What'd you do? And she was like, I was like, she looked at me like, not my son, nigga. Like, you need to go get your lick back the next day type shit. Fuck you mean? Like, stand on that. And I just never did. So I just always, I always felt. But like, if I could change anything, dealing with scogging, it'd be that. It wouldn't even be like avenging myself for other losses. I mean, niggas get whooped sometimes. It just happened. You feel me? You know, I didn't take a lot of them, but I took some, you know what I mean? But that one was I didn't fight back, you feel me? And I just hate the fact that I didn't scrap back. So I would go back in 5th grade and get to scrap with old boy. I might get scogged. That nigga was big as shit, but I don't give a fuck, nigga. Like, at least I got some scogging in, you know what I mean?
It might be a dude on a very different podcast than this telling that story, but about me, bro. Like, there's no valor in this story. Like, but 5th grade, I don't know if I told you all this story or not, but I got scars on my knuckles on these 3 knuckles. It was a kid named John Allen. He was a little blonde kid. The family was Mormon, and they moved to Long Beach from Utah. And, you know, in the 90s, that was like being a white kid who was a Mormon. That was like, That was like a big difference, right?
Yeah.
But this kid, the way he dealt with it or whatever, and we were fine. I mean, he was annoying, but everyone was cool with him, whatever. But he just was so obnoxious to people on purpose. Y'all know I had a girlfriend and my little elementary school girlfriend or whatever from second grade. And in fifth grade, he was just bothering the fuck out of her. He just kept talking about, "Oh, you're my girlfriend now," and all this other stuff.
Oh yeah, well,
and I socked him, and I
Oh.
punched him in the mouth, but he had braces, and I punched his braces through his lip, and that's what fucked my knuckles up. I fucked my knuckles up real bad on his braces. So
he's supposed to get punched in the face.
he was screaming his shit though. It was a lot of blood.
For sure.
And he literally came back to school not one more time, brother. The family moved back to Utah. My mom got called over the shit, all this other stuff, it was just like, my mom's like, he wasn't bullying him for being Mormon. He was
socked him for being
an asshole.
You know what I mean? That's crazy. You're my girlfriend now. Yeah. Like, what world are you from? It has to be Utah. That's the only place you don't get punched in the mouth for that shit. So I mean, like, dog, like I don't feel like that was he didn't deserve that ass whooping type shit. He's supposed to get his ass whooped. You feel me? Like,
But it's like if you'd have seen him. You know what I mean? Yeah. It's like
I wasn't that though, nigga. Like I would have scrapped with most. That nigga was 5'6", and like I ain't even do shit. I think like I don't. It was some silly shit.
5'6" in fifth grade may as well be the king.
That's a big fifth grader.
No, my mom. She looked at me like this is why I remember her saying she was 5'6". Is it kind of like gave me some like okay, because she was like, I see why you were scared of him. He bigger than me. That's what she said. You know what I mean? Like, because at first she was like, a nigga punch you in your face and you ain't do shit. And then when she saw him at school, like an after school situation, she was like, oh, I see why you were scared of him. Bigger than me. You feel me? So still wish I'd have got my leg back off the strength. Oh man, that's a rough L. You know what I mean?
Jackson, who are you scogging?
I wanted to scog Stephen A. Smith this week for what he was saying about Serena Williams.
Oh my
God.
And then he tried to
It was going to be my Doopy Butt of the week, but now that we're here.
Anyway, go ahead.
He said, his quote was, if I'm married and my wife is going to join trolling her ex, go back to his ass because clearly you don't belong with me.
That's why you ain't married. That's why you shouldn't get married.
What kind of dumbass thing to say is that from Stephen A.
That's
Smith?
an unmarried man talking about a happily married woman.
Weirdo.
That's what that is.
And it's acting like, I mean, I don't know if Stephen A is in the dark, but he's acting like Serena just did that shit unprovoked. Do you know all the shots that Drake has taken at Serena and her husband? Like
and Alexis, yeah,
bro. And for her to just be like, fuck this nigga, it's Compton right now. Who gives a fuck? Like that's not something you're obsessed with your ex shit. No, that's fuck this nigga. That's what that is.
And they both did it because didn't he wear but I think anyway. But
it was also a really symbolically important moment in her life story.
Yes.
After the shit she caught for sea walking at Wimbledon, to be able to then be at the Super Bowl like that. And it was very much part of the story that Kendrick was telling.
Yes, that was it. Just basically further stamped what it highlighted an actual experience. You know what I'm saying? That he was, saying that he was speaking to.
It just so happens that Kendrick's point about Drake is so relevant that so many things you could do would be a commentary on Drake.
And that's Drake's fault. You know what I'm saying?
All right. Yeah, that's good. Yeah, that's Stephen A. Smith. I read that and I was like, you can just tell when people are talking about shit they don't know what they're talking about when it comes to relationships.
But also with that, bro, like that's such a childish way to approach that. Like that's not even like I would leave her. Like, do you know what marriage is? You know, I mean, you don't even have a concept of, of what doing this is. You feel me? And that's for me, it's like that was just, I don't know. I'll be saying some goofy ass shit. So but like that's like childish in a particular way. You know what I'm saying? We're talking about this very serious subject to me. But anyway.
Who was it that went on Cam Newton's show and was talking to him and was like, that's why your life is so fucked up because of that thing you just said.
I remember that shit.
Who was it?
I don't remember. It was yeah. But it was really some like, everything you're saying about women is like what an 8-year-old would say. Like,
was it the Rain? It was a gospel singer, wasn't it? Little nigga. He be dancing and shit. He's
You talking about Kirk Franklin?
Man, Kirk Franklin. He was Kirk Franklin that said that shit.
No, it was a woman.
I thought Kirk Franklin was speaking towards some serious.
You remember that moment when she asked Cam how many kids he had, and he said like 5 or whatever. He's like, and I want about 4 more. She's like, and then she's like, let's talk about that. And then she just picked his ass apart. You don't remember that?
Who was this? No, I don't remember that.
We don't remember who it
is.
That's what we're.
Like,
that's where we're being bad. Bad. You want 9 kids that you're fathering, that you are the father of.
Oh, he just wants to like
active
spread
way.
his wild oats type shit. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
He's got like 4 different baby mamas or some shit going on with him.
All right. Our next show is going to be on Sunday. We've got a couple important dates coming up. We got the new Love is Blind season is dropping on Friday. So we're going to be hopping on that and talking about it over the next couple of weeks. And also the new Netflix documentary on the Olympic basketball team. Should I say that we're special?
You can
we
say
already watched it. So sucks to you.
It drops on Tuesday. It's very, very.
You can't say that. We're not allowed to review it until the day.
No spoilers. I don't know if anyone knows what happens in the Olympics, but
it's coming out on Tuesday, so we'll be talking about it next week.
Sure. But yeah, so definitely Tuesday. Check that out. We'll be talking about it. Very excited about that, and we will see y'all on Sunday. Bye.
Bye.